All right, guys, let's talk about the clean. So basically what we're doing with the clean is we're getting the barbell from the ground, we're picking it up, we're gonna jump the bar up and pull under into a position that we can then stand up with it. So how does this relate back to the squat, the push-up, the jump, and posture? Basically what we're doing is trying to get into a jumping position here with the bar that we can then use our legs and hips to really drive and produce a lot of power into the bar. That is going to transfer directly over into how high we're capable of jumping. Then we're going to pull on the bar and move our body weight around the bar to go receive it in a front squat position. So the snatch and the clean and the jerk are the three Olympic lifts. These are the lifts that show up in the Olympics, which is why we call them the Olympic lifts. And they're a mixture of weightlifting and gymnastics at the same time. So weightlifting is I have a weight that I'm moving around me. So the clean is not purely just moving weight. That would be me picking the bar up and picking the bar up to my shoulders. So there's a lot more finesse that goes into the clean, a lot more speed, power, and finesse kind of all combined because there's a gymnastics component. So gymnastics, we're moving our bodies around an external object. So this pole is sitting here and I'm going to move my body around the pole. That would be more of a gymnastic style thing. I can't pull the pole to me, but I can pull my body to the pole. So basically what we're doing with the clean is I'm going to squat it up into a jumping position. I'm going to jump the bar up, and that's going to create force on the bar. It's going to go up, it'll slow down and go 0 miles an hour, and then if I do nothing, it'll start going back down to the ground. So what we're going to do is as I jump it up, it'll go up, and as it slows down, it goes 0 miles an hour. When it's doing that, I'm going to pull on the bar, and I'm going to pull my body around the bar, and when it's going 0, I'm going to get ready to receive it right here in my front rack position. So a lot of new people struggle with this front rack position, and they get scared that the bar is going to smack them. And they feel like this bar is going to come land on them and really hit them hard. The reality is we're trying to catch the bar at its highest point. That way it's got no momentum. So effectively it would be just like if I put the bar on the rack and walked up and got under the bar. So watch one time, see how high the bar goes, and watch as I jump the bar up. I'm not pulling the bar up in the air from there. What I'm going to do is use my arms to pull my body down to the bar, and I'm going to try and find it at its highest point. I'm in my front rack position, and then I stand up with it. So basically, let's talk about how to set up for this. In a deadlift, this is a little different than a deadlift. In a deadlift, I'm going to stand as close as possible. So whenever we're weightlifting, we want to get the bar as close to our center of gravity as we can. We think of that as our shoelaces, the middle of our hip, and the back of our neck. In the clean, this is a little different. Because we're not moving max weight off of the floor, the amount that we're going to be able to clean and get to our shoulders is going to be way less than the amount we're going to be able to deadlift and just pick up off the ground. So with that, I don't need maximal leverage off the ground. What I want is maximal leverage in our jumping position, because that's what this move's all about, is creating power from the jumping position. So as I set up, I'm going to actually step back from the bar a little bit. In the deadlift, I'd be right up against it. In this, I'm going to step back a little bit. That's going to help me get it around my knees and pull the bar into me to ultimately get it into the jumping position. So we break the clean up into 3 pieces, and we call them the 3 pulls. The first pull is getting the bar from the ground up and back and in to my jumping position. The second pull is me jumping, okay? After I jump, the third pull is me pulling with my arms to pull my body to the bar. And then I would just stand up with it. So 3 pulls. First pull from the ground to the jumping position. The goal is get to your jumping position. Second pull, jump the bar up in the air. Third pull, use your arms to pull your body down to the bar. So let's talk about setup and shoulder position. I'm a little bit further back from the bar, butt tight, belly button drawn in, twisting my feet on the floor, ribcage down, stand tall. I'm gonna create my jumping position. Okay, so the key here is in my jumping position, my hands are rotated this way. So in most everything we do, we're gonna rotate that same way we would in a push-up. In this move, we do the opposite. We're using our jumping movement pattern, so we're gonna rotate the opposite way. What this is gonna also allow me to do is now after I've jumped the bar up, when I pull on it, my elbows are gonna go high and outside. That's gonna keep the bar really close to me. If I was rotated the other direction, as I pulled under, the bar would go out in front of me this way, and then it tends to come around and slam. So if I go like this, I'm able to pull straight to that front rack position and move around. So this is one of the anomalies, but it's not really an anomaly. We just want to think of it as our jumping movement pattern, and that's why we're going to rotate our arms this way. We don't want our shoulders to get out of whack. We're going to stay nice and tight. So I'm going to set up to it. Think about it as my jumping pattern. That's the position we're going to prioritize. I'm going to squat my way down, get my hands on the bar, squat my way up to my jumping position, jump it up, pull under into that front rack position, and stand up. What does that front rack position look like? Same as the front squat. It looks like the push-up position. Shoulder back, create that rotation. If I bend, that's right where that front rack position is. I'm catching in the squat position. So everything there is the squat. That jumping position has the feet a little bit in. So since we don't have to squat our hips down low in the beginning, our hips are a little higher. We can take that little narrower stance where we have more power. That's our jumping position. Then after we jump it, we're going to pull into a squat position. So you may have seen some people squat really low to go get the bar. So when do we do that? When do we catch it up here? The heavier the bar gets, when I jump it, it's not going to go as high. My goal is I'm always trying to catch the bar at its highest point. If its highest point is right here, then I might have to squat this low. If its highest point is right here, I may need to pull under it and squat way down here to go get it. So it all depends on how high you jump the bar, and that's dependent on how heavy the bar is and how strong you are. All right, so to simplify it, we're taking the bar, getting into our jumping position, jumping the bar up. As it goes up, you're going to pull on it to pull yourself down to it in your front rack position and stand up. You should be able to pause at any point of the clean and answer what you're doing with your core, what you're doing with your joints based on our squat, our push-up, and our jump. This is a movement that you'll be developing for years and years and years, and you'll be able to nitpick and nitpick and nitpick as you get better and better at it. It's one of the moves that's a lot of fun just because it is so dynamic. We get to feel nice, strong, and powerful as we do this. It has a direct translation into how powerful and athletic we are out in the real world. All right, play around with the clean and enjoy.